Okay, I'm getting ready to make my daughter's Butterfinger cake. I think her first year she was back. And first what you want to do is just go ahead and make a chocolate cake. I like the Devil's Food Deliciously Moist Cake. It's really good. And you basically pretty much follow the recipe. Okay, we're coming up about 2 minutes here, so we're going to go ahead and turn this off and just pour it right on into the pan right next to it. And once we get this cooked up, we're going to let it cool completely before we take it to the next. About 20 minutes, we're going to take a peek. Oh, that's looking good, but I can tell right now it ain't ready. Oh, maybe it is. Let me get it down in there. It's real close, just minutes. It feels clean, but 2-3 minutes. Okay, the cake just came out of the oven. The toothpick came out clean, and it is perfect, just perfect. We're going to let it cool for 10 minutes in the pan, then we're going to let it cool the rest of the way on a cooling rack here. As you can see, I flipped the cake over so I have a more even surface there. And next it calls for holes about the size of a candle, but I use a wooden dowel about that thick, or the thickness of a candle. And you want to go in about 1 inch down, 1 inch apart, all the way through, but you don't want to go through the cake. It's ready for, I'm going to put it in the freezer so it gets a nice cold surface. I'm going to chop up the Butterfinger bites, and that the recipe calls for 36 divided in 2, so that's 18, so I'm rounding it off to 20. A little bit extra for her, and this is what you're using. And I've already done the first half, and this is finishing up the second half. So we want to pulse this up into little bits and pieces here. Don't want to turn it into powder too much, but you don't want big boulders. That's pretty good. Here. And I'll put it back into a little plastic container until I'm ready to add this onto the cake back in the freezer. Okay, now that I've had this in the freezer for a while and it's good and firm, say it's not frozen, but it's good and chilled, I'm going to put this back in its pan. And I'm going to take the sweetened condensed milk. I'm going to line up this parchment paper. This way, when it's time to clean up, it's not so bad. Clean up detail. And then we're going to pour our condensed milk evenly on top, so it soaks in and goes into all them nooks and crannies all over. And next, take half of the Butterfinger and sprinkle it all over evenly. Okay, that's the first 2 layers, and 2 more layers to go, but the next layer is going to be whipped cream. And I kind of like pat this in to the condensed milk. The recipe calls for store-bought caramel ice cream sundae syrup, and I am going to alter that a smidgen and use my own homemade dulce de leche. And to get it to work, I had to heat it up a little bit so it'll pour out, and we're just going to kind of, okay, now we're going to spread this. Like I said, this is thicker than the normal sauce. You just drizzle it over, but this is going to be so much better. It's a nice little surprise for her. Okay, there's the finished look with the caramel sauce on top of it. Again, the normal recipe calls for caramel ice cream syrup, so there's more sugar in that, and it's a lot more watery or runnier. So this is my version. I hope she likes it because it's a little twist. Okay, I just got done whipping up some whipped cream, pint of whipped cream with about a half cup of powdered sugar. We're getting ready to pour it on top of this here. Next goes the whipped cream on top. Okay, next you sprinkle the remaining pieces on there. And you're done.